over your whole career, you have really just smashed the glass ceiling for six, really, which is incredible. In nearly every step that you've taken, being the first woman in many of the positions that you've taken on. And in 2001, you became...
I did.
The Royal...
Chief Commissioner.
The Chief Commissioner
in Victoria.
Which is incredible.
Well, it was an amazing, and often... you don't even think about that. I'd some time back, I said to you before, I didn't think about planning, but once I'd started to get to be a superintendent and I looked around me and I went, gee, I'm younger than most of them.
Yeah.
I'm better qualified than all of them.
Yeah.
And I just think, well, maybe I could actually kind of head to the top. And I remember saying to a journalist, I want to be the Commissioner of Police in New South Wales. And he sort of said, oh, you can't do that. You're a woman. They'll never let that happen.
Yeah.
So I kind of started to think about it. And then when the Victorian job came up, I didn't even see it.
Right.
I didn't even see the job advertised. My father did. And he's a great supporter.
Right.
I mean, don't ever be stuck in a room with him.
Right.
Never let you out.
Right.
Talks for hours.
Right.
But he's incredibly supportive and wise. And, so he saw it and rang me up and said, I've got a job for you. And I went, what? I got a job, and I was at that stage an assistant commissioner running a region, operational region in New South Wales on the south coast.
Right.
So we had a farm and we lived in Wollongong, and I had 1,000 people, and they were great. And everything happened, it was very busy all the time. But I loved it. Anyway, I said, no. Said the Victorian job's up. I reckon you'll get it. You need to have a go. I went, I said, Victoria, are you kidding? They're never going to hire someone like me. And he said, well, give it a run. You've got nothing to lose. And so then John and he got together, and that's a bit overwhelming. So we got through that and applied. Went through the process like anybody else could have. I didn't know anybody. I didn't get asked. There was no headhunters. I just simply applied and went through the interview processes. There were kind of a long one, and then they did background checks and integrity checks and lots of other stuff and referee checks. And then of course I did the final interview with the Premier and Police Minister and Lynn Koski, who was then the Finance Minister.
Right.
And not long afterwards was advised that they were taking my nomination to the Governor, and I would be the 19th Chief Commissioner of Victoria Police.
And the first woman in Australia. Ever.
Yeah, ever.
Gives me full goosebumps.
And it was very interesting, and I loved it for lots of reasons, and it was about that. And I think, that you can take on a role like that and hopefully it shows not just lots of women, but it shows a whole range of people that I can have a go at something like this. This woman is not sort of, I don't know. You see some people and you go, oh my God, you're sort of in awe of them. Well, I don't think anybody thinks that about me, and so I think they kind of meant, and that gee, this is kind of important, and I think it was a symbol.
Right.
I'm not sure the Premier thought a lot about, the symbolism of appointing me. When I looked at the other applicants, I figured I was smarter than they were. You're going to have a confidence in yourself too.
Yeah.
And when I'd done the work, I'd been involved in lots of different things. I mean, I'd applied previously to be an a commissioner in South Australia, and I applied for the New South Wales job and didn't get either of them, but it's like, there you go,
Yeah.
In one case I went, thank God.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it. And the other case, because I learned a lot about that. And the other case, I thought, gee, you really should have given it to me, but...
Yeah.
So there's a sense of, I think sometimes women particularly don't, and people don't, women particularly don't put themselves forward.
No.
They don't ever go. And they'll kind of, be cautious about it and go, for heaven's sakes, what do you got to lose?
Yeah, exactly. Because in every area you were the first, a lot of places being, in a lot of your positions being a woman. And in that, being that, it's hard to gain the respect sometimes of your employers anyway. Yeah. But I'm sure a lot of people, as was the general population, looking at you going, when are you going to stuff up?
Yeah.
When can we jump on this? Did you feel that pressure? And
you feel some of the weight. There was a lot written, and there was, some of it was cynical, some of it was, one article called me the lollipop lady from Wollongong. I went, what?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just silliness. And then others were, wow, this is really significant. And some people kind of would say, well, we'll just give you a go and see how you go. And I remember I got different sort of feedback from the members, which was, well, you're the best of a bad bunch. They didn't like the other choices at all, but that didn't mean they liked me. It was more like, well, we'll see what happens. So I think there is a weight, but and you feel that, and you feel like you don't want to stuff up, but you also you have to kind of say, well, I just have to do this in the way I think is the best to do the job, and that was really about kind of breaking out, I think, of the model.
Yeah. You just carved your own path,
you have to. And you've got to adjust, and that's another point I think is really important about just being yourself. You've got to, you kind of, people would often say to me, look, why don't you go out and do the just as one example, the briefings about we've arrested blogs or we've done this. I went, well, I didn't do that. I said, let the people who do it do it. Now, Victoria Police has a lovely model, which they still follow, that it's kind of the local police will talk, you don't drag out the senior police. In most cases, I get dragged out when we stuff something up.
Right.
But, and I did a lot of it, but there was, my media people particularly would be saying, oh, no, you should claim, the major arrests. I went, no, let the people who did the major arrests talk about it. I said, I don't want to do that. And so I wasn't prepared to sort of either, play a game that might have placated some of the more critical people, because, I didn't want to take the responsibility from people who'd done the job and, done a good job. And so I think you have to do it your own way. You have to trust your own gut. By the time you get to my age and stage when I got that job, you got to, you got to know you're going to make mistakes, but you've got to give it a go and be prepared to sort of say, well, I stuffed that up or not, and but have a confidence in the sense of, once you've talked to lots of people, once you've listened, then okay, that's the way we're going to go forward, and that's what I tried to do.
Yeah, right.
And I think with the community particularly, I wanted to show them, like when I got the job, someone said, "You're going to stop supporting women." I went, "What?" So this is the best chance for me to support women, both by being in the job, but also just about encouraging women to join and being someone that says, no, you can do this.
Yeah.